After we read up on everything, Crystal and Heather went to the College of Tropical Agriculture at the University of Hawaii. That's when they first saw the bug that started the whole Heptachlor story. The pineapple mealybug. This bug causes a plant disease called pineapple wilt. It can do a lot of damage to a field of pineapples. The mealybugs are pretty helpless because they can't move around very fast or protect themselves from their natural enemies. But this insect, the big-headed ant, protects the mealybug because it likes to eat the sweet honeydew that the mealybug makes. That's why Heptachlor was applied, to kill the ants. If the ants died, then the mealybugs would get eaten up by their natural enemies, and then the pineapples would be saved.
Once we find some mealybugs, I'll be able to explain how this whole thing started, because that's the pest that had to be controlled somehow.
Heather and Crystal went out to the pineapple fields to look for mealybugs with Steve Montgomery.
There's a fruit. Let's take a look at that and see if we can find some mealybugs on it.
Steve is an insect ecologist, a person who studies the relationship of insects to their environment.
So how did the Heptachlor get onto the pineapples?
Well, Crystal, it got onto the pineapple leaves from spraying trucks that would come along and put it on there to kill the ants. And then the ants, if they were dead, the mealybugs would die. So that after the fruits were picked, they could go through, instead of plowing under the whole plant, they thought they could chop off the top of the plant and use that for cow food.
Which top of the plant, like, would they be talking about the top of the pineapple, or maybe these leaves that are growing up around it?
Well, let's say if we take a plant like this one here, it's about 2 feet tall. They've already got the fruit off of that one, and they would probably just take this part here, and the leaves down below, they would plow those under, because that's where the Heptachlor was supposed to be in the largest concentrations. But when some of the leaves, the lower leaves, were chopped off and put into green chop and fed to cows, that's when the Heptachlor went into the food chain and got into the milk. The problem with Heptachlor is it was a persistent pesticide, one that was so resistant against breakdown in the soil and in the sunshine that year after year after year, it was capable of killing things. By 1980, Heptachlor, because it was a persistent chemical, was banned from use in agriculture all over the United States, except on pineapple in Hawaii.
But if it was so dangerous, why did they keep using it?
It looks as though the pineapple companies, together with the elected officials, got together, went to the Environmental Protection Agency and said, for us, this chemical is essential because we don't have any other way to control the mealybugs and the ants. Please give us an exemption. And they got an exemption to keep using Heptachlor. This is a ring-necked pheasant.
Steve told them that game birds like this pheasant had such high levels of heptachlor epoxide in them that they were dangerous to eat.
That's the problem with these chlorinated hydrocarbon pesticides. They are bioaccumulated. They are magnified as you go up the food chain from the simple kind of animals like insect into the birds and into people. This sad story of Heptachlor in Hawaii should be a lesson for us that exemptions can get us into trouble. I think we can learn something really important from this Heptachlor story, and that is, before getting any more exemptions, we think long and hard about why it was prohibited in the first place.